The time is 5 a.m. A piercing, digital scream rips through the silence of your room. Your arm, heavy with sleep, moves on instinct, fumbling in the darkness until it finds the source of the noise. You silence it, and in that quiet, a negotiation begins. A silent, one-sided conversation with yourself. Just 5 more minutes, the voice of weakness whispers. The world can wait. The warmth of this bed is real. The cold floor is not. And you listen. You agree. You press the snooze button. In that single, seemingly insignificant action, a profound choice was made. You did not just choose 5 more minutes of sleep. You chose comfort over discipline. You chose the familiar lull of mediocrity over the sharp, clarifying sting of ambition. In that moment, you renewed your contract with the 99%. The vast majority of humanity who live and die as slaves to their fleeting feelings, their transient moods, their momentary whims. They are the people who wait for the perfect moment, who hope for motivation to strike like lightning, who believe that their potential will, one day, magically, unlock itself. But what about the 1%? While you were bargaining with your alarm clock, they were already awake. They had been up for an hour. While you were surrendering to the siren song of comfort, they were executing a plan they committed to the night before. There was no negotiation. There was no internal debate. The alarm was not a suggestion. It was a signal. The first command of a day that they, not their feelings, would control. They understand a fundamental truth that you have yet to accept. The war for your day, for your life, is won or lost in these first few seconds of consciousness. This is not another video designed to make you feel good. We are not here to coddle you or offer you hollow affirmations. We are here to hold up a mirror, a stark, unforgiving mirror that reflects the brutal truths that keep you chained to a life far beneath the one you are capable of living. This is an intervention, an exposure of the mental malware that has been running your life on a loop of procrastination and regret. We are here to dissect the 7 brutal truths that separate the architect of his life from the passenger. This journey will be uncomfortable. It will challenge the very foundation of your identity. It will feel like an attack, because in a way it is. It is an attack on the weakness you have allowed to grow inside you, the weakness you have mistaken for your true self. If you are comfortable with your current reality, if you are looking for another dose of temporary inspiration that will fade by lunchtime, this is not for you. Leave now. For those of you who remain, prepare yourselves. The illusions are about to be shattered. You believe you lack motivation. You tell yourself this story every single day. You scroll through social media. You watch videos. You read books. All in a desperate search for that spark, that bolt of lightning you call inspiration. You're waiting for the right feeling to wash over you, the perfect mood to align with the stars, giving you permission to finally begin. This is the great trap. It is the most sophisticated and insidious lie ever sold to the human mind, a fantasy packaged and marketed by a culture that worships comfort and despises effort. It is a poison you willingly drink, believing it to be medicine. Let's be brutally clear. The 1%, the men and women who operate at the highest levels of human potential, do not wait for motivation. They do not hope for inspiration. They view such concepts with contempt. They understand that waiting for a feeling to compel you to act is the strategy of a child waiting for a parent to tell them what to do. It is a complete abdication of personal power. Reality check. The 1% manufacture their own drive. They generate it on demand through the cold, hard, unsexy mechanism of discipline. Your current strategy of waiting is not a strategy. It is a surrender. It is a declaration that your emotional state has more authority over your life than your conscious will. Think about the language you use. I just don't feel like it. What are you actually saying? You're saying that a transient, chemical-based sensation in your brain has veto power over your destiny. You are handing the keys to your life over to a ghost. Every single time you utter that phrase, you are not just delaying a task. You are performing a much deeper, more damaging act. You are forging another link in the chain that holds you down. You're taking a hammer and chisel to your own mental armor, chipping away at your resilience, trading a lifetime of strength for a few fleeting moments of ease. This isn't just poetry. It's neuroscience. With every decision to succumb to a feeling of lethargy, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with inaction. You are literally training your brain to choose the path of least resistance, to seek comfort as its default state. The excuse becomes more practiced, more automatic, more convincing with each repetition. It starts with the snooze button, then it's the workout you skip, then the difficult phone call you delay, until your entire life becomes a monument to things you were going to do when you felt like it. You are not stuck. The word stuck implies an external force, something holding you against your will. That is a victim's narrative. The truth is far more damning. You are not stuck. You are choosing to be stationary. You have anchored your own ship in a harbor of apathy, and now you are complaining to the world that there is no wind. The 1% are not waiting for the wind. They have thrown the sails overboard and have started to row. They understand that action is not the result of motivation, but its cause. The momentum you crave is born from the friction of doing the thing you don't want to do. So, if this grand illusion of motivation is the cage, what then is the key? So how do you break the chain? How do you escape the prison of your own feelings? The answer isn't a modern life hack or a new productivity app. The master key was forged nearly 2,000 years ago in the private journal of the most powerful man on earth. His name was Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who commanded legions, ruled over a quarter of the world's population, and faced constant war, political betrayal, and a devastating plague. Yet, his greatest battles were not fought on the frontiers of the empire. They were fought within his own mind every single morning before dawn. And in his private notes, he gave us the law that separates the master from the slave. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the law, the fundamental principle that the 1% live by, and the 99% ignore at their peril. It is known as the dichotomy of control. Imagine your entire existence split into two distinct territories. In the first territory are the things you have absolute control over: your choices, your actions, your responses, your will. This territory, though it seems small, is your kingdom. It is the only place your authority is total. The second territory is everything else: your feelings, your energy levels, what other people think of you, the weather, the economy, whether you get that promotion. This territory is vast, chaotic, and completely outside of your command. The 99% spend their entire lives trying to build a home in that second territory. They are obsessed with what they cannot control. They wake up and take their emotional temperature. Am I motivated today? Do I feel inspired? They check the external conditions. Is it the right time? Do I have enough support? They are completely at the mercy of outside events. Their happiness, their productivity, their self-worth, it's all outsourced to the unpredictable whims of the world. They are like a ship captain who, instead of manning the rudder, spends all his time trying to command the wind and the waves. It is a life of perpetual frustration, anxiety, and powerlessness. It is, in essence, a form of slavery. The 1% understand this brutal law. They understand that trying to control the uncontrollable is insanity. So they do the opposite. They abandon that second territory. They ruthlessly, strategically, and completely ignore it. They see their feelings as passing clouds, interesting to observe, but utterly irrelevant to their flight plan. They view motivation not as a prerequisite, but as a welcome byproduct that may or may not show up after the work has already begun. They accept that the opinions of others are just noise, and that perfect conditions are a myth. Their entire focus narrows to a single point of light in the darkness. The first territory, the kingdom of their own will. The only question they deem worthy of an answer is, what is my next action? That is the only variable they can control, and therefore, it is the only variable that matters. This isn't about being a robot or suppressing emotion. It's about dethroning it. It's about understanding that your feelings do not have to be the dictator of your actions. You can feel tired and still go to the gym. You can feel scared and still make the call. You can feel uninspired and still write the first sentence. By realizing this, you don't just find strength, as Aurelius said. You reclaim your power from the chaos and find the only true freedom that exists, the freedom to act. This is not abstract philosophy. This is not a collection of comforting quotes to be admired from a distance. The law of control is a weapon, and like any weapon, it is useless until it is deployed. What we are about to give you is the protocol for that deployment. This is the operating system of the 1%. It is built on 7 brutal truths. You will not simply listen to them. You will install them. The first truth: your feelings are magnificent liars. They are echoes from a primitive past, designed for a world that no longer exists. That feeling of dread before a difficult task? That is your ancient brain screaming about phantom tigers in the tall grass. That desire for comfort, for the path of least resistance? That is a survival instinct that has become a self-destruct mechanism in the modern world. Your feelings are data, not directives. Acknowledge them as you would a passing storm cloud. Observe their presence and then let them go. Your actions are the only truth. While your feelings whisper seductive lies about exhaustion and inadequacy, your actions, and only your actions, write the unchangeable reality of who you are. The second truth: comfort is the enemy. It is the most addictive and destructive drug on the market, and it is freely available everywhere. Your mind and body are designed to adapt. When you constantly seek comfort, they adapt to a state of weakness. Your tolerance for discomfort plummets. The smallest obstacle becomes a mountain. The 1% understand this, so they practice voluntary hardship. This isn't about self-punishment. It is about inoculation. The deliberate cold shower, the extra repetition in the gym, the decision to read a difficult book instead of scrolling. Each act of chosen discomfort expands your capacity. It recalibrates your internal definition of hard, making the unavoidable hardships of life seem trivial in comparison. Comfort makes you a fragile creature in a hard world. Voluntary hardship forges you into a weapon. The third truth: no one is coming to save you. This is the great, terrifying, and ultimately liberating reality. The cavalry is not on its way. Your parents, your friends, your government, they cannot do the work for you. The narrative of the victim, the idea that external forces are the primary architects of your failure, is a prison you build for yourself. It is a comfortable prison, filled with excuses and sympathy, but it is a prison nonetheless. The moment you accept absolute, 100% responsibility for your life is the moment you reclaim your power. Your failure is your fault, and therefore, your success is your responsibility. It is on you, alone. The fourth truth, tomorrow, is a fantasy island where 99% of human potential goes to die. Your brain loves the idea of tomorrow because it allows you to get the dopamine hit of planning without the pain of execution. You tell yourself you'll start the diet, write the book, make the call, tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. It is always today. The only time that exists, the only moment where you have any power, is now, in the next 60 seconds. Your grand 5-year plan is irrelevant if it is not backed by a concrete action in this very minute. The fifth truth, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Your mind is a suggestion engine. It will offer you thousands of thoughts a day, thoughts of fear, doubt, laziness, and critique. Most people identify with this stream of consciousness. They believe they are their anxious thoughts, their self-limiting beliefs. The 1% cultivate a separation. They witness the thought arise. They recognize it for what it is, a fleeting electrical impulse, and they choose whether or not to engage with it. A thought is a suggestion, not a command. You can refuse it. The sixth truth, discipline is not punishment. It is the ultimate form of freedom. The undisciplined person believes they are free, but they are a slave to their moods, their appetites, their impulses, their weaknesses. They are a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the changing tides of how they quote to. The disciplined person is the captain. They set a course and hold to it, regardless of the weather. This discipline frees them from the tyranny of their own weakness. It is the freedom to become who you want to be, rather than remaining who you currently are. And the seventh, final truth, your potential is not a guarantee. It is a debt. You were born with a certain capacity for greatness, for strength, for contribution. Every day that you choose comfort over action, you default on that debt. You are stealing from the best version of yourself. This isn't about fulfilling a dream. It is about honoring an obligation. The work is how you pay it back. Relentless, daily execution is the only currency that is accepted. This is how mental armor is forged. Not by thinking, not by hoping, but by doing. Brutally, consistently, without fail. Your education is over. The theories have been laid bare. The truths delivered without anesthetic. You have listened. You may have even nodded in agreement, feeling a flicker of recognition, a spark of something that feels like motivation. But that feeling is a ghost. It is an echo in an empty room. Knowledge that is not applied is a poison. It creates the most dangerous illusion of all, the illusion of progress. You feel smarter, more aware, but you are unchanged. You are still the person who negotiates with their alarm clock. You are still the person who waits. The time for listening is done. The time for observation is over. Now, your test begins. This is not a test of memory. I do not care if you can recite the 7 truths. I care if you can live one of them, just for the next hour. This is the only examination that matters. Before the sun sets today, you will execute one difficult task you have been avoiding. I want you to stop and identify it right now. Do not choose something easy to make yourself feel good. Choose the thing that makes your stomach tighten. The phone call you have been dreading. The first paragraph of the project you have been putting off for weeks. The honest conversation that feels like it could break you. The workout your body is screaming to skip. That is your target. There will be no excuses. There will be no negotiation. Your mind will immediately begin to construct a defense. It will tell you the timing is wrong. It will tell you that you need to prepare more. It will whisper that you can do it tomorrow, when you feel better, when you are more ready. These are the lies of a weak mind trying to protect its comfortable prison. You will treat these thoughts not as valid arguments, but as the enemy's propaganda. This is not a request. It is a command. It is an order from the part of you that is desperate for freedom to the part of you that has kept it in chains. When you have completed it, and you will complete it, you are to return to this transmission. You will come back here, to this very spot, and you will go to the comments section. There, you will write 5 words. Action is the only truth. This is not for me. This is not to boost an algorithm or to create engagement. This is your digital declaration of war against your own weakness. It is a flag planted on conquered territory. That single, difficult act you just performed was a rebellion. Typing those words is the signing of a new constitution for your own mind. It is an affirmation that you are no longer a citizen of the land of excuses and good intentions. You are now a resident of the state of execution. Every person who sees that comment, including yourself, will know it is a testament to a promise kept. It is a public record of your first victory against the inertia that has defined your life. It is your first piece of evidence that you are not who you were 10 minutes ago. Do it. Close this window if you must, but do not allow yourself to be distracted by anything else. Do not consume another piece of content. Do not check your messages. Your next action is already decided. The path has been set. Go. Execute. Then report back. The path of the 1% is a lonely one. The world is built to celebrate comfort and to sedate ambition. You will find very few allies in your immediate circle who understand the war you have just decided to wage. This is why you must subscribe for your next briefing. Consider this your new unit. This is your assembly point. This is where you will be reminded of the laws of strength when the world tempts you with the promises of ease. We are the few who understand that the only way out is through. Dismissed.